Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got a very special bottle on the channel. This is a bottle that I have been hunting, and I have had no luck. Every time I go to a Virginia ABC after a drop, never. I've been in the drops, and they've been putting Blantons out on the shelves, and I still cannot get a bottle of this thing. So look, we're going to get into this thing. I'll tell you how I got it. Let's get it.
Bottle drop, bottle drop, bottle drop.
So first of all, let me give a shout out to Dennis, man. Dennis had a bourbon meetup last night, and there was a guy there who had a couple of extra 24Bs, and I felt like taking one off of his hands because this is a bottle I've been hunting, man. Just not necessarily 24Bs. I am a Stagg fan. I even use them as a decanter. This bottle right here, this is an old Stagg Junior bottle. This is batch 17. Luckily, I had an empty one because my 13th colony bottle came cracked, and I needed something to transfer to, so it worked out perfect timing. But this is 22A. 22A was a monster, man. 22A was my favorite, I think, of all the Staggs that I had. So I was just like, oh my gosh. When he had the 24B, and there was another guy who was looking at the 24B, and after he got it, I congratulated him because I was like, well, look, you saved me from spending some money. So then he says, well, you know, I do have an extra one. I was like, man, I'm on the hook. So I had to get it. I've really been looking for them. I did not pay $300, did not pay $200. I did pay a little over $150. A couple bucks over. But anyway, I had to have it, man. These things, I cannot get my hands on them. I've gotten lucky, and I've gotten the Old Forester. I've gotten the Michter's. So I've been getting lucky on drops. What was it the other day when I picked up the C924? I've been getting lucky and just happened to be in the store sometimes. Like I said, when they're putting stuff like Blantons and stuff out on the shelves, Eagle Rare out on the shelves, never do they have the Stagg. So anyway, let's get into Dennis's bourbon meetup. Shout out to Dennis, shout out to Virginia. Some of those bottles there, I would say, because I was asked what my favorite bottles were of the night, and I really didn't give a definitive answer because it was, you know, when you're going on, you're tasting so much stuff. But the next morning, I really started to think about it, and Bruzel's Crittenden's Cut Above. That was a bottle that really stood out to me. I really thought that was a good bottle. Oh, and the Elijah Craig Toasted. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Toasted. It was an 8-year that Virginia bought. I'm glad I tasted it before I bought it. So I just wanted to throw this back in. What else? We had the Penelope 9-year estate. Shout out to Tommy, man. We were going back and forth like the whole night about different notes. That was the one bottle that we kind of we were in agreement on. And then once I got this bottle and cracked it with everybody there, because you can see, I got this bottle and I cracked it with the people that were still there. And we agreed on this bottle too. So let's get into this bottle, man. I'll get into some more funny stories towards the end of the video if you want to hang around, because Dennis came up with a drink, and I do kind of have the ingredients, partial ingredients for that drink, but it was, and I'm not a cocktail guy, so we'll get into that. So look, stick around until after the review, and we'll get into what Dennis had. But also on a sad note, gotta retire the Byron's Bourbon Drop Glen. Shout out to Andrew, his wife made this for me, man. On my way to go to Dennis's bourbon meetup, this thing, it was like I went to the back seat, put it in the back seat, put it with the bottles, took it out, then put it back with the bottles, and it just tapped one of the bottles, and it just got an L crack in it. So that thing is no longer with us. Anyway, but wow, the nose on this thing already. Cherries, berries, grape, Slight bit of caramel. Oh, this is why I chase Staggs, man. Stagg, these Stagg Junior, whatever you want to call it, they have not let me down. Getting a little ethanol. Now this thing is proofy. You know they're going to be proofy. It's a Stagg. You got 127.8. Wow. Oh yeah, man. That berry heavy, grapey, cherry note. A little bit of caramel. And like I said, ethanol. All right. I've talked long enough. I know you guys want to know what it tastes like. Let's get it on the palate. That is so sweet. Sweet, grapey, that Buffalo Trace grapiness, like I get in the Eagle Rares. Oh, like that grape soda grape that I get on the Russell 13s. It's super sweet up front. Some of that berry note does transfer over to the mid. Char along the back, spice, kicked me in the nose a little bit. I did try to have a warm-up pour. My warm-up pour was no slouch at 114, and that was probably about 45 minutes ago. So this thing did kick me in the nose just a little bit, but it's not like it's drinking super hot. Let's go back into the nose one more time. I hate to break into videos like this, but you guys, please go into the description. Find the link for the Bourbon Drop glasses. Find the link for the 2 Westward picks that we have. And also, shout out to my newest Bottle Drop tier member, Dennis Patek. Still berry heavy, man. Just like fruity, berry heavy with that grape note. That caramel note has gotten like more pronounced. I'm not picking up like, you know how sometimes I say creamy vanilla. I'm not picking up like a creamy vanilla. And still ethanol, but that ethanol has calmed down some. All right, back on the palate one more time. Wow. It doesn't have that dark richness of like a George T. Stagg. It's got this bright, very berry forward, very fruit forward, this like bright and berry note, that grape soda note. Char picks up in the back, spicy. Man, this is good. The only thing that I will say is it's not savory. Like it doesn't have like that savory note that I really love in a bourbon. This is just more fruit forward, sweet, grapey, berry. This right here might be on the list. Look, I am trying to get my list together of whiskeys of the year. This might be on my list. This might be on my list for 2024. So anyway, let's get into the breakdown. So, you know, number one question, is it worth the chase? As you can tell, I think this thing is definitely worth the chase. Is it worth retail? It retails for, I think, around $65.99. It is worth it. Of course, like I said, I paid upwards of $150. I really, in all honesty, I did pay $160 for this bottle. Shout out to you. You know who you are for, letting go a bottle. But they're so hard to come by. And I hate blowing up all of the, because people love to blow up the Buffalo Trace products. Me, when it comes to the Stagg Juniors, George T. Staggs, and the Staggs, I'm a big fan of them. They are so hard to get that I thought that was a reasonable enough price. Now, you guys know me. I try to stay within my $30 over retail. I knew that if I did come across this bottle, I was not going to get it at $30 over retail. As a matter of fact, Fred's had it for $300. And I was like, nah, too rich for my blood. And I am never going to pay that much for this bottle. However, when you start hovering around that 150, 160, I'm kind of like, especially if I can't, because like, this is the only bottle that I've ever paid more than retail for. But I like them that much. I enjoy them that much. Anyway, so is it worth retail? Yes. Is it worth over retail? In my opinion, yes. Who is this bottle for? Experienced bourbon drinkers only. It was 127.8. Drank every bit of 127.8. Did not drink hot. Did kick me in the nose a little bit. That spice, that heat. So, you know, I think that I don't even think I would give this to an intermediate bourbon drinker. This is experienced bourbon drinker only. Will it always be on the bar? Yes. If I come across another one, I will buy another one because I think it is that good. It will always be on the bar more so because I'm keeping it around. I'm not trying to go through it as much. Just like my 22A, you know. So the 16, 17, long gone, kept those things for a long time. As a matter of fact, I think I had just emptied my 17 this year when my 13th colonies came in, and that's why I had this bottle. But I try to sip on these bottles very slowly because they are just that damn good. Now look, I went into the breakdown. I told you I had like a kind of little bit of a funny story. Dennis and his son were actually sipping some things one day and they were trying to mix some things. So Dennis said that he mixed Crown Royal, this is the flavored blackberry crown, with Screwball. And he said that it tasted like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So what does he do? At the end of the night, he gets a spherical ice cube, puts it in a glass, mixes it, I think it was 1-to-1, mixes it, stirs it up, hands it to me. I sip on that thing and it was liquid peanut butter and jelly in a glass. I am not lying. So I don't have Screwball, but on my way to Dennis's bourbon meetup, I brought this bottle right here. Well, bought this bottle right here. This is an original pecan liqueur. It's called Praline. And I'm gonna tell you the only reason why I bought it is because it looks like an Abraham Bowman bottle. And I started to be funny and bring it in there with me and just sit it on the table and watch people open it and, you know, maybe not even read it and just pour it like, what the hell is this? So when I got it home, I was sitting there trying to pull the cork. It is no cork, it's a screw cap. But this thing is so sweet and so rich. I think if I mix these two, it will probably taste exactly like the drink, the Screwball and Blackberry Crown that Dennis made for me. Like I said, that thing was liquid peanut butter and jelly in the glass, man. But anyway, let me think some more about some of the bottles. So at the bottle share, you know, Doug was there, Doug and his wife. Bowie was there. There were, like I said, there were a lot of people. Virginia was there. I was really looking for the J.W. Kelly for her because I had promised her that J.W. Kelly because hers tasted kind of like, and I've never had this note. Shout out to Doug's wife for naming that note the last time we were at Akshay's meetup. It was this smoked like barbecue potato chip, and I've never gotten that in a bourbon before, and her J.W. Kelly tasted like that. I told her the one I had was maple syrup for days, and I was trying to get her that bottle. But there were a lot of bottles, man. Like I said, you had the Crittendens, you had the Estate bottle, both Virginia and I, we bought the Dancing Goats. What else, man? You had, it was so much stuff on the table. I was trying to just like sample stuff. Of course, I brought the ASW. Shout out to Robert. Robert got my last 2 ounces. This thing was popular. I bought this, the Old Soul, bought some other bottles. This thing was popular. One bottle that was not popular, and I will be doing a review tonight, is this bottle right here. So stick around for the next review. It's coming. I don't know when the Baker 7 review will be coming, but stick around on the channel. You guys know you can go to the Patreon. You can get the Westward picks that we were doing. You can get the glasses at the Bourbon Drop store. So all of those links will be down in the description. With that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head it to a drop. Till next time.